rise in the number of complaints about pet insurance, with more firms unwilling to pay out as treatments and policies become more expensive.
Steph is looking at this for us. Morning.
To you both. You know, whenever we talk about pets, we get so many messages about it. So many great photos as well, but lots of messages and people complaining about pet insurance. Morning, everybody. Yes, pet insurance is in the UK is big business, with just over 3 million policies for cats and dogs alone. But as the market increases, so have the complaints, and the Financial Ombudsman Service says new complaints about pets and livestock insurance have risen more than 40% in the last year. Now, common problems included quibbles over companies not covering animals' pre-existing medical conditions and confusing terms and conditions, so the small print on policies being confusing. And the disputes over bills for sick animals can be huge, from £20 all the way up to £10,000 for the most complex cases. Well, with me now is Martyn James from the Financial Ombudsman Service. Morning to you, Martyn.
Morning, Steph.
As I said, so many messages on this. Anita saying it's a rip-off. I've insured my horse since 2006 when I bought him and never claimed. Each year they try and hike the premium, and every time I question it, they bring it down a little bit again. And you know, she has to have this argument with them. Louise is saying pet insurance and vet fees are just as bad as each other. Lots of people saying about the expense, and it's been going up in cost, hasn't it?
Well, absolutely. And you hit the nail on the head there, Steph, because every time we do something on pet insurance, my email melts. It's the one subject that people really care about. Over half the population has a pet, and we're really attached to our cats, dogs, whatever pets that we have in the UK. So people will fight very hard to protect them or to get the best treatment.
So why is it getting more expensive?
Well, put simply, a lot of insurers have pulled out of the market, and there are lots of reasons for that. But if you think about it, you're more likely to put a claim in on your pet insurance for a couple of shots for your dog if it has an accident than you are if you're going to put in a claim for your sofa that's got a bit damaged. So it's one of those products that people are more likely to use, so the premiums tend to go up. And this can cause quite a bit of distress for people if your dog or your cat or your horse has an ongoing condition.
And tell us about the complaints you're getting about insurance and what people can do about it.
Well, we get a wide range of complaints, and they can sometimes be on the kind of from the sublime to the ridiculous. I mean, we've had kind of depressed parrots that have pulled all of their feathers out, right the way to some really serious issues about dogs that have been seriously injured on roads, where insurers have said that they're not going to pay out because they think that the proper security procedures haven't taken place. So it's a huge range of things. The main one is pre-existing conditions, which you mentioned beforehand. And a lot of pet owners say to us they're concerned about getting cover or keeping cover if their dog or cat or indeed any other pet has cancer or something along those lines, because that can be really distressing.
And what can people do about it?
Well, the most important thing is to speak to your insurer if you've got an ongoing complaint and you're worried about the treatment. Your insurer will usually allow you to continue to treat that condition, but they might say that they're not going to cover you for any other things that might arise. These policies have caps too, and we've seen some experimental treatments that aren't covered. So if your vet says they've got a great new treatment that's going to cost you £10,000, might be worthwhile just checking with the insurer first to see if they'll pay.
It's hard though, isn't it, when you love your pet so much?
Do you know, people will pay absolutely everything. I've got chameleons, or had chameleons, and I spent a fortune on x-rays, I kid you not.
Chameleons, that's an interesting one. Well, thank you very much for coming in to tell us about that.
Was it X-rays?
Yeah, X-rays for chameleons.
X-rays.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Changing colour. There's some colour joke there, isn't there? Thank you.
It's 12.